Number 9. Wonderland Amusement Park in Beijing, China. While it was never an open park, Wonderland Amusement Park in Beijing, China has to be my personal connection to the love for abandoned places and its history. It was proposed by the Thailand-based property company named Rainwood Group, and the park was dubbed to be the biggest amusement park in Asia, covering 120 acres of land. It was believed to be a medieval theme park, indicated by unfinished medieval buildings and an unfinished castle-like building. Construction was halted in 1998 when financial difficulties had arose. In 2008, construction was attempted to be started but failed. The surrounding land was used as farmland and claimed by local farmers. A few sightseers had also claimed that there were parking attendants in the parking lot assumed to tend to the visitors. Unfortunately, in May 2013, the incomplete structures were demolished, and the area is going to be used to make a luxury product supermarket. Let's see if this gets completed. Number 8. Toilers World, Taiwan. At almost 2 a.m. on September 21st, 1999, an earthquake measuring about 7.3 on the Richter scale hit central western Taiwan, known as the 9/21 earthquake. It claimed about 2,415 people, critically wounding about 11,450, causing 9.2 billion in damages. The 9/21 quake shifted the lands about as much as 7 meters and 8,000 recorded aftershocks. Toilers World rested in the mountainous regions of northeast Taichung City. It is unknown when it opened, but it was opened sometime around the mid-80s. Badly damaged by the earthquake, the popular park was condemned and closed down permanently. Number 7. Nara, Dreamland. This Disneyland-inspired park rested near Nara in Japan. It was unknown when it has opened its gates. The design was almost identical to Disneyland in California, USA. The front had the train depot, Main Street, USA, and the hub, being Sleeping Beauty's castle, as well as an Autotopia-type ride and a monorail. Nara had its own mascots, Ran-chan and Dori-chan, two bearskin guards. The park was built in 1961 and has closed its gates on August 31st, 2006 to low visitor numbers. Number 6. Operated for 55 straight years, Joyland Park is located in Wichita, Kansas. The park was founded by a man named Lester Ottaway and his two sons to make a home for the 12-inch gauge steam locomotive that one of their sons had bought in 1933. The park opened in 1949. The Ottaway siblings retired from the park business sometime in the 70s, 20 years after their father had passed away, and sold the land to a couple, Stanley and Margaret Nelson. They kept the park running as smoothly as it was in its earlier years. New additions to the park were added as the years went on. Stanley passed away in 2010, 6 years after the Kansas park closed. In 2006, renovations were starting to begin, but didn't last long. Miss Nelson had sold the park to another person in hopes of a restart to Joyland, but being tired of burglaries, vandalism, and suspected arson, her hopes were slowly diminishing. In 2012, a maintenance building had caught fire but was quickly contained. Police are suspecting arson. May 2014, the Joyland's carousel was donated to the Wichita Botanica and will be fully restored. June 2014, the main sign welcoming the park's visitors was taken down into a local storage to eventually be restored to its former glory. Joyland of Wichita, Kansas may be gone, but will never be forgotten in the hearts of its many visitors. Number 5. Six Flags, New Orleans. In 2005, a Category 5 hurricane named Hurricane Katrina hit eastern North America, affecting states like Georgia and Louisiana. Lasting approximately 9 days with winds up to 174 miles per hour, it was the costliest natural disaster to date, and taking about 1,833 lives. Among the ruins was Six Flags New Orleans. It opened its gates to the public May 20th, 2000, and it closed its gates August 25th, 2005. Since the hurricane flooded the park for a little while, when the waters went down, the rides and attractions were so rusted that they deemed the once joyous park. Six Flags New Orleans was hitting rough spots. Attendance for the park was starting to deteriorate. They were financially struggling, and it was deciding to close it down. So they decided to keep the park closed after Hurricane Katrina. Number 4. Spree Park in Berlin, Germany. First named, I'm putting this on the screen because I don't know how to pronounce this, located in Berlin, Germany, opened in 1969. In 1991, Spree Park Berlin GmbH Company received the Toilers World contract after the reunification of Germany. After this, new attractions were added. The visitor count went up to 1.5 million a year. By 1999, debt started to add up and the park had to increase admission, causing a continuous drop in visitor traffic. 2001, the announcement was made that the debts no longer could be paid off. The owner, Norbert White, packed up 6 attractions and moved with his family to Peru, where there he tried opening up a Luna Park, which failed. When he returned to Germany, he was caught smuggling cocaine in the Magic Carpet ride. Number 3. Gullivers Kingdom in Japan. Located in Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan, at the foot of Mount Fuji, lay a theme park based off of Jonathan Swift's tale, Gulliver's Travels. The Japanese park operated from 1997 to 2001. The disused, neglected park left behind a large statue of a 148-foot body of Gulliver, making it an urban explorer's playground. Money or fatalities didn't factor into this park's fate. The history of the land surrounding this park was to blame. The park abutted to the Aokigahara Forest, the infamous suicide forest, and in the same area, the Aum Shinrikyo cult settled their headquarters. The group was behind the Tokyo's 1995 Saturn gas attacks. It has since been demolished in 2007. Number 2. Appropriate Amusement Park in Ukraine. May 1st, 1986 was supposed to be the first day of the Appropriate Amusement Park in time for the May Day celebrations. But April 26, 1986, during a system test, a power surge was detected in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. When a shutdown was attempted, a larger power surge happened, resulting in reactor 4 to explode, leaking great amounts of radiation into the air. Due to this, May Day plans came to a permanent halt. It had been open for a couple hours on April 27th to keep the locals entertained before evacuation was ordered. The little park contained bumper cars, swing boats, a paratrooper ride, and the icon of the nuclear disaster, the Ferris wheel. Number 1. Okpoland, South Korea. Housing only a handful of rides, Okpoland was a wonderland for many kids in Okpo-dong, South Korea. Being the only amusement park on the island, it was bustling with many families, becoming popular. In the 90s, the park wasn't much of a wonderland anymore. A young girl was killed on its duck-themed coaster. The owner offered no apologies and no explanations as he kept the park and duck ride going, years after the incident. But it wasn't the only accident. In 1999, one of the duck coasters jumped and capsized, flipping the girl over to her death. It was the second and the last fatality to the park's name. Overnight, the park shut down and everything was left as it was. Even the cart that flipped over was left as it was. Until 2011 was named South Korea's abandoned amusement park, and it has been officially demolished that year.